from last time.
No, they do it in July. Been a year.
Probably. You know what happened a year ago today? 5 years ago today? We met Eliana and her mom over at Lucky. Popped up this morning.
I know what I did. I got up out of bed and came down here.
We did. This was actually a work week.
Yeah, well, it was a Sunday evening, wasn't it? I just happened to be working that Sunday, and they were coming back
They were
from
on their way to the beach. Or
coming back. Yeah.
And I'm telling you to listen.
I think.
If that'll work.
Why don't you show me what you're talking about?
I don't know if it'll work or not.
Bill, are you on the line?
I don't know if this is even gonna work.
Bill later on text Bill and tell
Yeah, I
him
don't
that
think so.
we can check
Thought
his
it
line
would.
out at 8:30.
Oh, that's pretty good right there.
Can you do that? Bill,
Huh? What?
contact Finch and find out, tell him we'll check his line at 8:30. I'm feeding him audio.
2:41 local time this morning. The
Hey,
U.S.
so that
Geological
Cheryl.
Survey says the quake was about 70
The reason I don't
miles
say it
below the
is because
surface,
Charlie
which may
can't get
lessen
by
any
me.
damage. More pressure on
He's so damn
Columbia's
big
former
over
chief
there.
to resign.
No, you're so damn
Documents from
big.
2005 surfaced
Heard.
that reportedly link him to the alleged
No, you are.
civilian killings.
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
Prosecutor,
I don't know what you
General
am.
Nicasio Martinez
Chief
Espadel approved at least 7 payments to informants
see
in
that.
combat operations.
Yeah,
I'm
I
Christopher
see
Cruz.
that every now and then.
Warren Buffett says
On
our markets
Facebook.
work in 10-year cycles. It's a shame we only have 7-year memories. The bad news is the last recession happened 10 years ago. What happens when the next recession comes? The Federal Reserve has manipulated rates so low they'll now have to print tens of trillions of
I
dollars.
think you got a
As they print
one
more
longer
money,
over
the
there,
dollar will
too.
Yeah, I
devalue
only
and
need
gold
one.
will soar. My name's Adam Baraka.
We got people
I'm the
coming in,
co-owner
or
of
yeah,
Advantage
what
Gold,
time they
the
come in?
highest
About an
rated
hour,
firm in
right?
the country, and the author
Dave's
of the
gonna
national
call in at
best-selling book,
8:15.
Gold is a Better Way. My book explains why gold is going to $5,000 over the next
Yeah.
few years. And if you have an IRA,
but-
a
Yeah, and our other
401k
guest
with
will be
over
in.
$100,000, I want to send you a copy of my national bestseller for free. Text the words
So it should
bestseller
be
to
open now.
49776.
Yeah,
That's
it should be open,
bestseller
like-
to
Yeah, but
49776
This one right here.
to take a
Noise when
free
they walk in the
book
door.
now. That's the word
Oh.
bestseller to 49776. Don't be a victim in the next recession. Text the words bestseller to 49776.
Phil, this door.
That's bestseller to
If they walk in and make a
49776.
noise, we need to leave this door closed.
President Trump may be in Japan, but he is not far from his Twitter account. He has just tweeted, quote, "The great patriots of Rolling Thunder will be coming back to Washington, D.C. next year and hopefully for many years to come. It is where they want to be and where they should be. Have a wonderful time today. Thank you to our great men and women of the Pentagon for working it out." The organization had decided that this year would be the last time thousands of veterans came to Washington on motorcycles. They cited funding problems. Officials in Los Angeles County say a former business
Who's
manager
that barbecue
of
guy?
the Marvel Comics legend
Reich?
Stan Lee committed
Reich?
elder abuse. They say he tried to capitalize on Lee's wealth.
Yeah, I watched him
and insert
yesterday. He was on all day yesterday. With all that grilling.
Yeah, they do the same thing at 4th of July and Labor Day.
County
Yeah.
prosecutors with theft and embezzlement.
They don't really
They say
program
Marcus
on Create
Ford
TV. They just set up a
$1
month's worth of
from
programming
autograph
and
signings Lee did.
replay it.
Lee died in November at the age of 95. I'm Christopher Cruz.
What's up, guys? It's Elena, and we've all been waiting patiently for summer. It's finally here. So kick things off right and heat up your summer days.
I hear
Turn
you
over
say
to
you
it
got
every
somebody
now
coming
That
in.
has created millions of love
So you need a
stories.
microphone,
We've been
right?
#1 in first and
We will
foremost
about 8:30, yeah.
marriages and over
They're only gonna
1
do the one segment.
million babies made. Plus the match.
And I'm gonna pop out of here
Carefully
and let
review
Mike interview
profiles
them
versus
since
just
it's all about
quickly
barbecue
flipping through
sauce.
them.
And I'll
You
stand
can
back
upload
there and do a
photos
live
and read
from
more about
Oh,
the
you're
tasty
getting ready to
treats.
revive your
Download the
sauce,
Match
Mike?
app for free
How do you
today.
do that anyhow? You don't brew it in your own kitchen.
No. I want to get to where I can, though. Eventually I will.
What kind of treasures you'll find. We offer a wide variety of stylish furniture.
Eventually I'll start making my own.
Every piece is court certified.
And
Yeah, but can you do it in enough quantity?
Well,
yeah, so I'm not gonna be a
I
part
got,
of
the kettle's about $9,000.
And then the mic, yeah, when they
For a
come
60-gallon kettle.
And another headset.
They don't need anything.
FurnitureOutlet.com today.
The only time they need a headset is if they're,
Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
I need a
And Dr.
headset.
Bill Williams.
The Gulf Coast in effect, sunny skies today will be hot with temperatures in the mid-90s this afternoon. Tonight, most
mostly clear, lows in the
Do you,
lower 70s.
You wanna talk
Y'all's
about
headphones volume up enough?
Temperatures in the lower 90s.
Yeah, mine's good.
This is meteorologist Dr. Bill Williams for FM Talk.
I'm sorry, I had to bring
As
it
we go
down.
out, or do you want to talk about it right off together?
Okay, never end the show on a sad note.
Well, I'm not, well, I mean, the first segment.
Yeah.
End of the first segment.
Memorial Day is a day to remember all the men and women
I'd
that
like
gave
to get
their
it out of
lives
the way.
so we could be free today. They lost their lives so you and
Well,
I and our children
after
might have
we
a better one.
Coming to the show, why don't you go ahead and do
World
it?
War I and II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, and some others along the way. America
That's very,
has tried
very
to be a
sad. I hate
beacon of
to hear
hope in a
that.
sometimes dark world.
No, it's not Philadelphia.
Hey, I'm right here.
Hey, I'm here. Yeah, I am, Charlie.
Okay, I can't stay. We're going into the show. I
Yeah,
just got
yeah,
your
we're-
text back.
We're good. We're good.
Okay, here comes the sound. We'll see you in an hour.
Or you want a rundown of the best brunch spots in the area, Mike and Stu have the answer.
Hey, Phil.
A combined half-century in the industry, they bring their wealth of experience to bring you the latest trends.
I just talked to Bill on the
and
line.
Interviews
He's
with
there.
people in the know. They are the dynamic duo of dining.
That's the way Granny used to wave on the Beverly Hillbillies.
It's a food and wine show, trust me.
Yeah, that
We're right here at
rheumatism,
Seven
that-
Shoots. It's wine and food. Because chew rhymes
We should have looked for that house, Beverly Hillbillies.
Fine fry cook, grape killer.
Now it's time to sip and chew.
All right, stand by.
Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Mics are hot.
Good morning. We'll start today on a somber note, and then we'll get to having fun. I'll read for you the first paragraph from ESPN's story. Rod Bramblett, the radio voice of the Auburn Tigers, and his wife Paula died of injuries suffered in a car crash Saturday night in Alabama. The Lee County Coroner's Office confirmed early Sunday morning. That's not a fun thing to wake up to.
No, it's not.
No, it's
And
not.
I actually heard about it last night before I went to bed.
Yeah. Whether you're an Auburn fan or an Alabama fan, we don't like to lose our boys, guys, because, I mean, for an Alabama fan, imagine you woke up and you read that about Eli Gold.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Same
and you know, these are, people don't understand, especially this younger generation that didn't grow up listening to games on the radio, that the radio announcer that calls these games is like another member of your family. It's the guy that gets to go to all the games, and he's calling back to let you know what's happening.
Absolutely.
And Auburn has always prided ourselves as being a family first and a university second.
Absolutely.
So when something like this happens, it deeply affects everyone within the Auburn family.
And you know, I've heard this on the Paul Finebaum show that airs on here on this station. There are a lot of people out there who can't see and can't watch a game.
Right.
They rely on the play-by-play announcer and the color.
And you think about it, as an Alabama fan, y'all have had a lot of championships to celebrate lately. And, you know, a good way to get through one of those boring Saturday afternoons in March or April when there's no sports worth watching on is to put on an old game.
Yeah.
You know, you could pull up YouTube and get just about any game of the last 10 or 15 years and watch the whole thing, commercials edited out.
Right.
And most of them, they take out the play-by-play announcers from the network and they replace it with the play-by-play guy of your home team.
Right. Exactly.
So I have watched that 2013 Iron Bowl over and over again. But I don't have to listen to the
Which
goof.
one was that?
I believe that one was where we scored 13 points in the last 37 seconds of the game to win the SEC.
I don't seem to recall that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we bring that particular game up because the call that Rod Bramblett made on Chris Davis's touchdown return is now the most famous radio call in college football history. No other radio call guy has gone on the Today Show to talk about his call, just his call of a play.
Exactly.
And it's a tremendous loss.
Great
And
loss.
A part of me
Great loss.
is a little broken this morning.
And you know, we are an Auburn station.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And his voice has been heard on this station for years. So
Absolutely.
it hurts on many different avenues, but we do have to move on with our lives. And in this case, we have to move on with our show.
Godspeed to the family.
Yes.
Yes, we do have to move on. And anyway.
Because we got a big show today.
We do.
We got David Calametti's coming on here in a few minutes. And then at the bottom now, I got to get out of this chair and give it up because Cullen Millsap and Philip Schermer III of Mad Dawg Barbecue.
The third? Where's the second?
Schermer the
Where's
third.
the second?
Ask him.
Okay, I'll
Put
ask.
that on your list of
The
questions.
third.
The third.
Okay.
Unless his last name is Ill. I guess it could be Ill. I-L-L. No, but I met these guys at Taste of Mobile, and
Yeah.
they are raucous. You're going to enjoy it.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait. Hey, this is Memorial Day weekend. You see I got my red, white, and blue shirt on here?
Mhm.
Blue ain't so good to me.
Yeah, you see I'm wearing my blue shirt that I wore to the restaurant last night?
Is that blue?
Yeah.
It's gray.
Well, you know, the rest of us see in Technicolor. When Mike's eyes were invented, it was still just black and white.
Yeah, that's right. But it is Memorial Day weekend, and it is grilling season, and what perfect people to have, guests to have, than people with barbecue sauce.
Exactly, that's why I scheduled it for this.
Man, that's great. And
Yeah, I time those things up like that, Mike.
and I'm probably going to give some advice on what wines to drink for grilling
That's
season.
a good plan, good plan.
And let's see what else we're going to talk
And
about.
you saw I got a little sneak peek this week from Playhouse Spices. They sent me a bunch of spices to try. These are the people that live in downtown Mobile. It's a husband and wife team. We're going to have them on the show in a couple of weeks, so we can get more in depth into it. But I'm working my way through so I said,
I want to meet them.
yeah, their spice blends are not anything you've ever had before. I did some Cajun food Thursday night with their blackening seasoning, which is called Weeks Bay, and their Cajun seasoning, which is called Balabatry blend.
Oh, wow.
But they don't taste like blackening or Cajun seasoning that you've had from all these other companies that essentially
It's not Paul Prudhomme.
No, there's a little different in each thing that they do.
It's more mobilized, or Alabama Gulf Coast lines.
I would Playhouse says that they want you to play with your food, and that's exactly what's going on. It's delicious. It is really, that blackening seasoning looked a bit like curry when I put it in some heavy
Really?
bright orange color because they used some turmeric in it, which got Charlie's attention because turmeric's good for you, isn't it, Charlie? Turmeric is good for you, isn't it?
If you say so.
You're the one who came in here spouting about it.
I got it. I have a question for you, Stu Rev Donald.
All right.
And this piqued my interest yesterday. Now, of course, on Create Channel all weekend they're doing, grilling shows. Of
I
course,
was watching Stephen Reichland. Right?
I was, and he had Curtis Stone on there yesterday.
Yeah, that's a big man, by the way.
He's tall.
Yeah, because remember, John Gibson's right around 6 foot, and he towered over John.
Yeah, but he was on there with him, and they were doing Wagyu steaks. And he had
Wagyu.
Wagyu.
That's why there's a Y at the end.
Okay, Wagyu steaks. And he had some really weird grill setups in his restaurant. But he had 80-day-old dry aged steaks. Now, he said it had like a blue cheese funk smell, taste to it that you kind of pick up. And they describe some other tastes. But what's his name? The host of the show, he had a regular 30-day. I need to know these. I need to learn these things.
You really do need, because these.
If these were wine guys, I'd tell you who they are. But
and it's ridiculous with Stephen Reichland because you just said you watched an entire day of him with his name on the screen and them saying it at least 3 times every
I was just
segment.
taught in the 80-day-old.
Yeah, I just
Wagyu.
watched a video the other day. They aged one 500 days.
A year? Over a year?
Over a year.
Is there any meat left on it?
Oh, it's all meat. You just have to trim a lot of the bacterial funk off the outside,
Well,
which is a good bacteria, by the way, not a bad bacteria.
They did the marbling looked the same, okay? Because there's a lot of marbling. He said it's tougher to cut with a knife. Even if you got a sharp knife, it's tougher to cut. They had to use a bandsaw because they were doing tomahawks with 80 days, and then the regular, they just a regular bone-in ribeye. I've yet to eat a tomahawk ribeye yet. I've got to.
Tomahawk ribeyes are not for one person to eat. They're meant for couples or tables to share.
I don't know. You have seen me. Yeah, you have seen me.
Yeah,
chopsticks.
I have seen you. That's why I'm telling
chopsticks.
you. Tomahawk ribeyes are not for one person to eat. If you eat an entire tomahawk ribeye, I have to get a new show host because you'll be dead. And you are not designed to consume 58 ounces of ribeye meat all at one sitting.
They're all that big?
Oh, no. To be a tomahawk, it has to be big enough for 2 people.
Okay.
That's the purpose of it. That's bone-in and tomahawk are not the same thing. A tomahawk is 2 minimum steaks wide.
Well, I saw it, you know, at the World Food Championship when we were there back in the fall. They had them butterflied on a grill. That was neat.
Yeah, but now it's not a tomahawk anymore. It's just a ribeye steak.
Yeah.
That's two ribeye steaks stuck together
Well, they had the long bone.
with a bone sticking out.
Yeah.
But still, that's no longer a tomahawk.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they have to be at least 2.5 inches thick. You know, it's got to be on the bone. The bone is the entire rib, although it's completely unnecessary to have 24. Now, I'm not pshawing this because that's a place where if all of you are having a steak craving, 4 of you go together, you get a 78-ounce steak, and you all share it. But we got to go to break.
Got to go to break.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, while we're on break, go to the website, Nappy Awards, and vote for Sip and Chew.
Best DJ team, y'all.
Best DJ team, Donut Jockeys.
Donut Jockeys. Junkies.
Junkies, yeah.
I had a line with Rod Bramblett, and I was going to play it, but I wasn't sure what it was, and that's why I wasn't watching at the time.
Yeah.
There's one, the other one's already in the lobby.
All right, I'll have them set up in our little listening area.
In the Old West, things were settled the old-fashioned way.
Y'all can clean those.
A duel, just one-on-one. And Butch Cassidy.
This is Rod Bramblett, voice of the Auburn Tigers. Listen to Tiger Talk each Thursday night at 7 on your official Auburn IMG Sports Network station. FM Talk 106.5.
You're among the majority of people who prefer to read accurate reports of local news and sports. It's time for you to turn the page to the Call News newspaper. Follow your favorite high school sports teams. Learn more about the actions of state, county, and city leaders. The Call News, a newspaper that speaks to you and your interests. Since 1897, the Call News has reported on the issues that matter to the people. Alabama.
National champion FM Talk 106.5 is the new home of the national champion Auburn Tigers. FM Talk 106.5 will be airing each of the Auburn football games, along with Tiger Talk, Bo Magginson's Auburn Tigers radio show, and Tiger Clips Daily. This is Rod Bramblett, voice of the Auburn Tigers, inviting you to be a part of the excitement. If you'd like to be an Auburn sports broadcast partner with FM Talk 106.5, just give them a call. Call Director of Sales Bill.
That's too much.
When are you going to play that?
I was saying we'd play it right at the end of the show.
Rating of 175 miles per hour.
That'd be nice.
But that's a sales promo there, and the other one was just a tagline.
This is Scott Armstrong with Chemco Metal Buildings. For almost 50 years, Chemco has been designing and constructing the highest quality
The Auburn Tigers. Listen to Tiger Talk each Thursday night at 7 on your official.
commercial, industrial, agricultural, storage, church, or community use. Or if you just want a Chemco building for yourself, please contact us. Chemco will use state-of-the-art software and our many
At the end, say right before you play it, we can say, please join us in offering our condolences, and then play, then play something.
Well, let's run down this list of people out here, Mike. We got Mary Ellen, howdy. That's Eric, howdy. Skip, howdy. Alec Naaman, how you doing, buddy? I hope you have a good Memorial Day. Bob Muddinger.
You don't get out a lot, do you?
Edmar Alberto.
We don't let him.
What's up?
We don't let him out.
CLC's new green deal.
Man, you have no
That
idea.
spot.
He lives way out there in the country where they barely get a signal.
I got a little promo that Bramblett did for Tiger Talk, and I thought we could end the show with it.
That'll work.
It was to say, please
We
join us.
don't want to beat up on us a whole hour.
While you watch your
Like Daphne called St. Jack's made it to the hospital.
Who is this on one? I don't have the open.
That's David Calametti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's our guest in the second segment.
custom installation
Doing better than me.
And when you want to change, grab your new Vibe Orange Camel stand-up paddleboard from Yellowhammer Fishing.
Morning, David. We're going to come to you in just a minute.
I'm good.
And to help you get around, a 2-week cart rental from Doctor. A prize pack valued over $9,000. Details on how to win on our Facebook page and website.
How you doing, Mike?
1065.
How you doing, Mike?
Hey.
How can you not hear without moving?
Here we go.
To get on the line, call
I'll explain.
343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait for it.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged. But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads.
Mics
and
are hot.
scrambled.
The official David Calametti theme song.
You know, you play that. I don't only
I didn't
watch.
play that.
I don't only watch the Create channel, but I also watch the reruns of Frasier, and I hear that song about 20 times a night. I hear it in my sleep.
Well, it's
Tossed
the
salad
official
and
David
scrambled-
Calametti theme song.
That's good. I like
As
that.
of now.
Good for you. I want my own.
Morning,
theme song.
David. We're going to get through this quick because right now it is comfortable to play tennis. But in about 2.5 hours, it's not going to be comfortable. Am I correct?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well. Oh, that sounds good. I wish I didn't have to work.
Oh yeah.
She is. They are in the music industry. They're tight. They are tight. That rhythm section gets in the pocket. She pulls out that trombone. It's a good time.
Yes, it is. I've seen her. Oh my gosh, she's
Talented.
incredible. Oh my, so talented.
She's going to play the conch shell? Oh yeah. See, that's the thing most people don't know about trombone players is we all also play the conch shell because our mouthpiece fits perfectly inside the conch shell. And even if we don't have the mouthpiece, our embouchure is perfect for playing a conch shell. Steve Torre, who for the longest time has been the trombone player for Chick Corea, for years was on the Saturday Night Live band, does entire sections of his albums where he brings other trombone players on, and all of them play conch shells, and it's a choir, a conch shell choir. Think about that, David.
I have to find out what wine goes good with conch.
It's a white wine, whatever you serve.
A crustacean one, yeah.
David, you came on the show. Why don't we let you talk?
Yeah. John from Fish River, his smoker's upright with a Harley Davidson muffler on it. Believe it or not. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I was impressed by it. I was blown away.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Virginia. I saw so too. Once they went before the judging, and that was very interesting. hearing the judges respond and talk back and forth with the presenter as a contestant, I found that part invaluable. And
I would have loved to seen that.
yeah. Mhm. Right.
Oh, wow.
Really? Mhm. Is that a weekend, I'm guessing? Like a, yeah. Yeah, I'll have, yeah, that's the theory, man. I'm in the
Isn't that
restaurant
the-
industry.
Isn't that the Florida State game?
In August 24th?
Oh, yeah, it's early.
Really?
First college game's real early this year.
Excellent. We don't play for another week. It's not Auburn or Alabama playing that day, so it's not quite as.
I'll get my
It's still more important than any wedding.
I'll get my VHS recorder out and record it.
Yeah, you Betamax.
Anyway.
Yeah, that must be built into your phone. Right. Oh my God.
Wow.
A lot of words. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. David. Well, you have a good Memorial Day, buddy. And
Hey, go online and vote for Sip and Chew for best DJ team, okay?
All right.
Thank
All right,
you,
folks,
David.
we come back. Mad Dog Barbecue.
Woohoo!
All right.
I thought I heard some noise in the lobby. I don't know if you want to check Mike and see if they're there.
Yeah, they came in the last segment. I went out there.
Oh, okay.
They're fixing to come in now.
You need my mic?
Yeah, they're gonna need your mic. I'm gonna step out of the way. All righty. You wanna usher them in here, sir? Or I'll get it.
FM Talk.
Do we have another set of headphones over there?
Yeah, I took the one off. Come on in, guys.
Williams.
I took the one off the phone because they're here. We're not gonna field any calls while they're
Okay.
on.
With temperatures in the mid-90s this afternoon.
John said he couldn't
Tonight
hear
mostly
David
clear, lows in the lower 70s.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
Mike Bailey.
Good to see you.
What's your name?
Philip.
Philip. Philip. Mike Bailey.
Cullen.
All right, y'all have a seat.
1065. FM Talk.
You're happy to hear? Yep.
Where you coast.
I'm not. I'm gonna stand up and just walk around and shoot the eye. Sit right there, right there. Got a headphone for each of you and a microphone for each of
I'm
you.
gonna turn it a
Get your
little
mouth
bit more towards you.
not that far away from the
Dylan,
microphone.
what's your last name?
Schermer.
And I know this is gonna,
Okay, here we go. Never mind.
SCHER.
I got it.
this is gonna sound real redundant, I guess, but when you're talking, don't look at Mike, talk into the mic. Don't look at Mike, talk into the mic. Okay, that sounded weird.
You look at me just talking to the mic.
Every Sunday at 6 in the evening, we have a tradition.
You'd be surprised how many interviews, next thing I wonder why I'm not hearing them, and I look and the mic's pointed at their ear, because they're looking at somebody over here.
Come on down for a wee taste of
How long y'all been? Well, I'll ask the question.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask this
We're
twice.
the ones with the book on over the door. 101
Because
North
Mike will
West
forget he's already asked in private and he'll forget to ask him on air. I've done that before.
Nappy time. That's right. You voted for all your.
When y'all leave here today, be sure to go online and vote for us.
When we leave here, make sure y'all go online and vote for us.
Y'all are doing good.
Y'all all over Facebook.
Mike's sold his sauce for 4 or 5 years now. He hasn't made that list yet, have you?
It's us against 5 restaurants. So,
Yeah, y'all are independents going to this restaurant.
yeah.
Used to, it's always, the brick pit was always up there when it was barbecue sauce.
Quintessential mobility investment.
It would certainly be some great exposure to go up against all those big boys and come out.
So head over to votenappies.com and get to it. And of course, you'll find all of the usual unusual news,
Got it out.
scenes,
I think they
sports, and arts and entertainment coverage you've come to expect from Alabama's largest weekly newspaper. So pick up a lanyard today or head to lanyardmobile.com and keep Mobile funky.
Nappy time.
A lot for me, anyway.
Coming back, guys.
Okay. All right, get your headphones on.
Get on the line. Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, this is Patty from the warehouse, and you're listening to Sip and Chew. with
Mics
Mike
are
and
hot.
Stu.
I love when Charlie says that. Anyway. All right, folks, we're back, and Stu has stepped out, and kind of, sort of. And so, make room for our guests we have here. We have, our guests here today are Cullen Millsap and Philip
Schermer. Yes, sir.
Schermer, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly the way
Talk right
it's
into the
spelled.
microphone, guys. Talk right into the microphone. And they're with Mad Dog Barbecue. I'm going to tell you what, they are all over Facebook trying to get that Nappy Award for Best Barbecue Sauce. And they're here today pushing it, you know, and, you know, I can't, you know, hey, I'm all for them, man. You know, they're doing everything they can, and I like that. But, so guys, when did y'all get the idea, hey, let's do our own barbecue sauce?
All right, so it's a funny story. It's this.
Oh, I gotta wait for the joke.
That's not the punchline.
Oh, sorry.
Wait
No,
for it.
it's actually my grandfather's recipe, and he's from Evergreen, Alabama.
Okay.
And there was a gentleman who used to make barbecue by the railroad tracks in Evergreen. And my grandfather would always ask him for his sauce recipe, but the guy would never give it up. So my grandfather made the closest possible replication to that barbecue sauce. So he made it for his family. He passed it to my dad. My dad made it for us in all his duty stations throughout the Navy. and then got to the point where I took it over. So I got my Marine buddy, Philip, and we got a label, got a bottler, got a co-packer, and so we're bringing it here to market.
Oh, cool. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, the recipe's from 1956, but we've actually been doing it for 3 years.
Oh yeah, that long?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So what's the recipe?
Okay, I'll just email it to you.
So your dad was able to get the recipe out of the guy, huh? Right?
Yeah, so my grandfather, he couldn't get the recipe.
Your
but
grandfather, I'm sorry.
He tried to replicate as close as he could get to it. So this is probably about as close as you get to Mr. Willie's and Evergreen's.
Okay. Now I haven't tried it yet, so how would you describe it?
Go ahead, Phil.
I like to describe it as a perfect blend of your mustard, your ketchup, your vinegar sauces without really being too overpowering in any way. You're going to get that vinegar on the back end without it being a runny sauce like your Carolina sauces normally are.
Right.
Real onions, natural ingredients, just the quality of the spices there. It's a good dipping sauce, but it's a great sauce to use your traditional smoking and grilling, but we like to bring it in the kitchen too, put it in your meatloaf, put some on your scrambled eggs. It's just a real versatile sauce,
Now, see, I'm a dipper. I don't want my meat covered in barbecue sauce.
I'm the same way.
But you said meatloaf?
Meatloaf, take a tablespoon or two. It won't make it in your hamburgers. It doesn't make it automatically barbecue. Now, if you want it, you can be as heavy-handed as you want with the sauce, but the spices that we use, it just keeps it juicy, really complements the meat. We're big advocates of complementing the meat and the cook and not concealing them or covering them up.
I understand.
Unless you need to, of course.
I understand. Now, I like my sauce. I like it thick, but I want to be able to get every drop out of the bottle. I want it runny enough to get every drop out of the bottle. I don't know if you've heard, but I do have a barbecue sauce.
I've heard.
We have heard.
And I hadn't even produced any this year. I got to where I was only producing it once a year, but I hadn't even thought about it. I thought about it, but I hadn't had time. And I will do it again. But I am a dipper, and my barbecue sauce is root beer based. You could put it in Bloody Marys.
Right. Okay.
So have y'all done that yet?
I've done that before.
I have not.
I've done that.
It just gives that a little.
Yeah, it gives a little smoke flavor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perfect.
Absolutely. So, tell me how you marketing this. What are you doing? How are you marketing? Where are you putting it at?
So mostly we're in. We picked up some local vendors in Mobile and Baldwin County. But really, our bread and butter are these markets. The market at the Pillars and the night market at the Fort and all these different farmers markets.
Yeah.
That's what we enjoy the most, and seems to get the best reaction.
Right.
But anybody locally in Mobile, Baldwin County can buy it in different stores. We're up to 15.
Yeah, we're really doing the support local thing. So
Absolutely.
We're in Greer's is our grocery store.
They're really good about supporting products.
Exactly. And beyond that, we're in places like Antique Emporium, Urban Emporium, Austin Brothers Lawn and Tractor. Everybody likes barbecue sauce. So it's not just grocery stores, Lad and Dads. Trying to really, we're born here, we're produced here, we're co-packed here, bottled here. Everything's done right here in Mobile. Cool. And so we're trying to use those local, smaller outlets to get our sauce out. So they're supporting us, and we're supporting them right back.
Absolutely. Keep those dollars in Mobile.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's what our show's all about here.
And Cullen hit on a minute ago, we were in Iraq together. His dad was in the Navy, his grandfather was also in the Navy, so we're 4 veterans have been involved with this sauce.
Thank y'all for your service.
Thanks for your support.
Yes.
And in addition to supporting local, we also give a portion of each bottle to Veterans Recovery Resources, which is located right here in Mobile.
That's
so
awesome.
Your veterans and their families, everything's just right here in Mobile and Baldwin County. We have aspirations of getting bigger, but right now that's where we want to be, and that's who loves us and who we love.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did too, but I'm content with where I get it, where I sell it at, and I'm over in Pensacola, some in Mississippi, but not too far where I can't manage it.
Exactly.
So,
and we'll be pushing those directions as well.
Oh yeah, I'll give you some names.
Yeah, please do.
Give you some names, and that's a great story to tell them as you push it. That you're offering. Because I know there's a wine out there called Sea Turtle. And every dollar of that bottle sold, it goes toward the restoration in the maintenance of sea turtle nests.
Yeah.
And we're in that season right now.
Yeah, it's a huge initiative.
Oh, yeah, and it's amazing how people don't know how to identify, and so they need, you know, what a nest is. So these people need to get out there and put barriers around it, and that costs money. Right. They don't give that stuff away free.
Yeah,
at hardware stores or whatever.
What I like to tell people is, you know, our story, our cause is what sells the first bottle.
Yeah.
And people go home a lot of times feeling good about buying a mediocre product because their dollars went to a good cause.
Yeah.
And the taste of the sauce is going to bring you back for more. It really is a good quality sauce and for a good cause, and like we said before, right here locally.
Absolutely. And you use it as many local ingredients. I know it's hard to get everything here locally, but.
So.
Yeah, because other than Perdido Vineyards, there's not going to be a local vineyard or local vinegar, and that's probably a little more expensive than you would do for.
Yeah. So.
Right.
You know, unlike a lot of barbecue sauces, this is made basically from scratch. So. A lot of people will take an existing barbecue sauce, doctor it up, call it their own. This is essentially all these ingredients are what, you know. Obviously, I can't divulge too much, but there's like 32 ingredients in here, so it's not just doctoring up something that's already existing.
And guess what, Stu? It says right here, no fructose corn syrup.
Heck yeah!
There you go.
That's
I love
right.
that. I love that.
Yes.
That's natural right there. So.
Yeah. So it's.
Oh, you got your story on the bottle.
So it's low in carbs. We don't add refined sugar. Like he said, no high fructose corn syrup. It's a healthy alternative to your normal barbecue sauces.
Yeah. So where can people find you at on as far as social media?
So social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram. We do have a website with e-commerce in the works right now.
Okay.
But you can find us. We're announcing new vendors, new markets. We just got through doing the Blue Star event down at the Battleship. Different charity events still be coming up. Look for a barbecue competition here in Mobile, hopefully to benefit veterans recovery in the near future. And then maybe even some new flavors coming up soon. But Facebook and Instagram is really the best way to keep up with what's happening, what's new with us, and things of that nature.
Now they used to have I haven't seen in a while, Hog Wild competition.
Right.
And I went out there several years in a row, and man, I sold a ton of barbecue sauce at that thing. And there were hundreds of vendors out there selling barbecues, and I still sold a bunch.
Yeah.
And are y'all planning on getting into any competitions and going to get some guys out, out of Memphis, and pay no attention to the guy behind the curtains?
Yes, I mean, so I always tell Phil, I kind of joke and say, we should do some competitions. And say, well, I don't know how to cook it. I just know how to make the barbecue sauce, which is sort of a joke.
If only y'all were friends with a chef.
No, what you do, what I'm talking about, all right, they got the one in Kansas City, they got the Royal, that you can send your bottles in, or you can go to some of the local barbecue, because they always have a category for barbecue sauces.
Sure.
And you don't have to fix it there, you just show up with your stuff and sample it out, and I mean, that's how you start, accumulating your ribbons and your awards and accolades and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Because you want to use those. I do have a National Barbecue Association People's Choice Award on mine. So.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely something that we're looking forward to doing in the future. We did a little competition back in, I think it was 2010 with his dad in Birmingham to do more of that kind of stuff. I know there's a push right now to make a Gulf Coast Pitmasters Association, which I think is exciting as well. Because Alabama barbecues its own barbecue.
Yeah, what's good about doing the competitions is you get to sell it there, and it put a lot, and particularly your cause, put a lot of cash into your cause, put a lot of cash in your pocket, or reinvesting back into the product to, what about
an exposure?
Absolutely.
Like the nappies.
Absolutely.
They're fun.
Well, look, what about new flavors? What do you?
They're in the works. We've got some. We're sort of, I would say, beta testing, and I would say within the next 6 months we'll have 1 or 2 more out.
We've got a lot of. One of our biggest compliments is that it's a unique sauce.
Yeah.
It's not going to replace necessarily of some other sauces that you really like, the particular flavors of them. So when we do a sweet sauce, for example, we don't want it to be another run-of-the-mill sweet sauce.
Right.
When we do a spicy sauce, not just add cayenne pepper and call it spicy. So we're going to try to keep things unique, keep the base flavor profile of what Mad Dogs is, but try to be creative. Give the consumer a little bit something different to choose from.
And how'd you get the name Mad Dog?
It's a funny story. It was my dad's call sign while he was in the Navy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're gonna keep
I've seen it more with the Marines than I did, but Navy, Marines,
Yeah.
Close to it. Well, guys, thank you again for coming in. Our segment's about up here. Tell people again where they can buy it here locally.
Look on Facebook. We'll have a list of all of our vendors right there. The most important thing is the nappies. Best local barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Go to the nappies, find us on Facebook. And
You got to admire their persistency here.
Yeah.
We've got to mimic.
I tell you what, we'll vote for y'all if y'all vote for us.
Hey, deal.
Is that a deal? All right, guys. Thank y'all for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Y'all wave at that one. That's our Facebook Live for the show. So if y'all lean in away.
Hold the bottle up. Hold the bottle up.
I'm going to hold this one up on my...
Get a close up in there.
Well, thank you guys for getting up early on Sunday morning.
Thanks so much for having us.
You guys are young. Y'all probably going. I don't know. You're military guys. You probably probably been up since 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we were military guys a long time ago, my friend. I don't do push-ups like that either.
Well, these hours?
Those are y'all's. I brought a third one in, and I've got a fourth one in the bar. So I'm gonna grab that and make sure everybody does it.
2 slabs of St. Louis. Those are going on tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, be sure to let us know on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
About it.
Always social media and all of this stuff. I mean, the whole purpose of having people like y'all on the show is to help sell your products.
What are your day jobs?
I'm getting nervous just being in here on the radio. I'm a Facebook radio.
I have a litigation support company.
Oh, okay.
I actually just went full time with this, so I'm doing landscaping and things like that. We don't want this to be a hobby. You know, so many people just bottle it for their competition or
Who's your
for
co-packer?
Tanner's.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great family.
You and I talked about it. I think whenever he first started, he started with yours.
Yeah, he wasn't
he's gotten a lot of.
He wasn't able to get mine, but he had just started.
I think you were telling us.
So I used what's his name over
Oh,
the shed.
Orson.
Yeah, they have that little. They do a few SKUs there too. What do they call it? Old place.
It's called the Saucery.
The Saucery. Yep.
Yeah, he does. Lots of people's spices. And he does all hundreds of different things.
15 seconds.
I gotta get over there.
You
Guys,
gotta get
thank
back
y'all.
on the
Thank y'all so
Good
much.
job. Yeah, absolutely. Good
Thank
seeing
you.
y'all. Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Oh yeah. I'll leave those other 2 bottles right here.
That'll work.
Okay, sounds great, man. Thank you.
Better get yourself a partner who can help you stay ahead and won't ever let you down. Someone you can trust, like your local Thompson cat rental store. Thompson's been helping hardworking.
I gotta go get you some Mad Dog. Mad Dog. Mad Dog. That dog is mad. There you go.
Just like you, they know
Veterans, of course, it's all backwards and stuff, but you know,
So
you
come
get
on
it.
down to your local Thompson cat rental store, where you'll not only get the service and selection you need, but for a limited time, get 0% financing for 48 months on select new cat machines. Offer good through June 30th. Visit
Always like to
ThompsonCat.com
let you handle the
for
people that are
details.
doing this kind of
Just
stuff
like you.
because you've got a lot more experience in it.
White Sands RV is having a Memorial Day
Nice.
offer sale.
Now we're coming
Now
back.
to Memorial Day on all new and pre-owned campers and motorhomes. Check out our inventory online at whitesandsrv.com.
I am
Like
serious
us on Facebook and come see us in Summerdale today.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Yeah.
This is Tony over
I'll
at
tell you about it in a
Downtown
minute.
Restaurant. You're listening to
Mics are
Sippin'
hot.
Tea with
Sip at you and Mike and Stu, that's us.
He's at the corner of Fat and Half.
That's a good
Great
little
people.
vibe.
And I'm gonna tell you, Tony does all kind of fundraisers there on
Yeah,
Tuesday
I
nights.
had one this week.
Yeah, he did.
Did
And he does so many fundraisers. He's even though he lives in Gulf Shores, and he's a coastal guy. He
Right.
does a lot of things to raise money. And you know, you see all these people all the time.
He's by Bayway.
Okay, but you see all these guys on motorcycles out there, and they say, Well, it must be nice just riding on motorcycles on these pretty days. Well, guess what? A lot of times they're out raising money for functions, and oh, it's incredible. Hey, but I want to tell you something, Stu.
Tell me.
You know, we went to see Paul McCartney the other day in New Orleans. It was so good. And his voice is breaking up, and
he's 182 years old.
So. He's rocking it, and he sung "Hey Jude," which is a 51 years old song. But
oddly enough, so is Julian Lennon, who it was named after.
Yeah, and the place is just everybody was singing every song. But on our way over there, we were hungry.
Hungry?
We were hungry. So
where did you eat?
So we went to Bozo's in Pascagoula.
Oh, that place is fantastic.
And I have not been there since they opened the new restaurant.
Yeah.
Right next to it.
It's been expanded, right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I'm going to tell you what, for $8, you can get a shrimp po' boy and a cup of gumbo.
And a cup of gumbo.
But I'm going to tell you what, it wasn't a little 4-inch, it was like an 8-inch. They said that was a half that sandwich was 8 inch long, and it must have had 30 plus fried shrimp on it. And then every spoonful of gumbo I brought out of my cup of gumbo had 1 or 2 shrimp on it.
Scrimps.
They make it like I make it. And but I'm going to tell you, it was phenomenal. And I saw Keith walking outside, the guy who owns it. You never know he's the owner. He's got a dirty hat on. He's got a green, like a dirty old torn, got pulls in his shirt, t-shirt with stains all over it, and jeans dragging the ground underneath his shoes. And he just looks like some guy, an employee that's been beat up and overworked. And he's the guy. I mean,
that's because he's an owner.
He's the owner.
Yeah.
He sets
that's why he
example.
looks beat up.
And I used to do business with Keith, and I'm gonna tell you what, he's there every day.
Yeah,
every day. So, folks, get by there at Bozo's. Support your local restaurants. But if you get over there, go to Bozo's. The food is phenomenal.
It's road trip worthy.
And it's fresh because they bring it in right there.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I bring up that phrase because Heather and I are working on a new blog of our travels.
Oh, really?
Road trip worthy restaurants.
Yeah.
And the blog's out there. We got one post so far, and it's about us last week going to Lucy's.
Yeah.
Just to get it set up. We'll publicize it. Yeah. And you know, we'll get it set up a little bit, but what we want to do is highlight, as you like to call it, the hidden gems.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is places like Gather in Atmore, you know, Tawny's place up in Monroeville, Stagecoach. We're just, and you know, it'll just be pictures and us talking about the experience. I thought Lucy's fit, even though it's right smack dab in the middle of the central business district in New Orleans. Because it's a dive bar, and across the street you had Craft Tavern, and down the street you had Emeralds in one way, and you had Donald Link restaurants the other way, and it doesn't fit that neighborhood, which makes it a gym.
Absolutely, and also right down from there is the New Orleans Wine Institution.
Right, so everything along Tchoupitoulas there is a little hoity-toity, little as far as hoity-toity as Nolans gonna get.
It's where.
Yeah, I don't know why
people it's for people whose last name are the Thud. Thurston Howell the Third.
Trey's what they called him in parochial school. I ate at a wonderful place yesterday. Did you see my picture? Heather and I went to Pot of Pho yesterday. Pot of Pho. Yeah. And, you know, it's chopstick food. But it was, I don't know why you're shaking your head, man. You love everything you eat. It's just your body rejects it because it's healthy. You're like, oh, this is healthy.
I don't reject it. It's just hard to get it from the bowl to my mouth with those little sticks.
Dude, you can use a spoon or a fork. Just not out in L.A. because you look like a bumpkin. But anyway, you would have really liked the dish I got yesterday.
Would I?
Crispy seafood noodle bowl. The seafood was not crispy. It was steamed. The vegetables were steamed. The bowl was crispy. The bowl was fried noodles.
Oh, wow.
In the shape of a bowl. Put the seafood in it, pour a little gravy over the top of it, so the noodles underneath the gravy turn back into noodles, but everything else is crunchy and crispy and fried.
Where's this at?
Pot of Pho. It's on Azalea across from Davidson High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the best pho shops in town.
I haven't eaten there yet. I ate the one down the road.
Pho 88, also very good pho. And then the other one that we're really loving right now is Jade Flames.
Got to get out there.
But they do one pho. And Heather wanted an assortment yesterday. And pot of pho, that's, they've got 15 different pho. And, man, it was fantastic. It was $10 for mine, $10 for her. We both brought half of it home so we have more to eat. I mean, that's fantastic. And this is the neatest little place. It's Vietnamese food in a Vietnamese neighborhood, and all the servers are Hispanic.
And you know what? It has been a Vietnamese neighborhood because I grew up not too far from there. Yeah. And it's been Vietnamese since...
And Cambodian.
Since the end of the world, Vietnam War.
Yeah, I felt,
for a while.
even as a child watching on the news, I felt so heartbroken for the people of Vietnam and Cambodia who were risking everything on these man-made rafts to go from the Indian Ocean and ending up in Balabatry on a man-made raft. And people that can do, first off, what kind of government are you getting away from?
Right.
That would make you take that risk. And you see it in Cuba, and you see it in lots of other places where there is a totalitarian dictatorship over them. People can sit here and say that Obama was a dictator and that Trump is a dictator, but you don't see people from this country lashing together pallets and making a paddle out of a stick to get to another country.
Yeah. But, what tragic as it is, it brought us great flavors.
And brought them the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And you look at the things, the businesses now in South Mobile County, all over the place that these people came here and said, you just give me a job, I'll make something of it. And they all own shrimp boats now. They have companies, processing companies, restaurants. It was a sad beginning. It's been a triumphant end to the story. So
absolutely.
I have nothing but respect for all of the Asian community that lives here in Mobile. They have added so much to our culture. Well, when was the last time you went to Blessing the Fleet, Balabatry?
It's been a while, a couple of years.
Half the food trucks are Asian food.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Well, we got a minute to go.
Yeah, folks, we're gonna sign out a different way today, and we want to honor.
And it is Memorial Day.
It is Memorial Day.
Unfortunately, it's fitting.
Absolutely, but folks, get out there, support local, be local, buy local.
Don't drink and drive. Call a Lyft. Call an Uber. There's absolutely no reason to get behind the wheel of a car without alcohol. I'll come pick you up. Text me.
All right, folks. Goodbye.
Well, and fellas, we ought to include in our prayers Rod Bramblett's family. Rod Bramblett, voice of Auburn, and his wife killed in a traffic accident last night. And our prayers go to their family.
Absolutely.
Well,
come on.
We're observing.
Well, I was going to do I can't.
Moment of silence.
I can't start the bump early.
This is Rod Bramblett, voice of the Auburn Tigers. Listen to Tiger Talk each Thursday night at 7 on your official Auburn IMG Sports Network station. FM Talk 106.5.
But not all drinks are a fine wine. A luxury sedan is a car, but not all cars are luxury sedans. There are books of literature.
I should have talked about it with you during the last break.
Legacy Oaks
I was trying to find something to close with.
But most apartment homes are not Legacy Oaks.
All right, y'all go have a safe Memorial Day. Keep it between the ditches, and don't choke on no bones, and don't take no wooden nickels, and remember the Alamo. Y'all get.